We've talked about a few times Colorado news anchor Kyle Clark, specifically for his takedowns of Lauren Boebert. Well, something different occurred, but a similar type of takedown, and that's specifically MAGA Republican Richard Holtorf. And Richard Holtorf, listen, he's an anti-choice guy in his policies. Only one problem. He paid for his girlfriend's abortion. Now, the hypocrisy there is blinding. Kyle Clark will brutally call him out for that during a clip that I have for you. But first, here's the reporting on it from Mediaite. Colorado congressional candidate and sitting state representative Richard Holtorf received a tough grilling this week at the hands of Local 9 news anchor Kyle Clark over his apparent hypocrisy when it comes to abortion rights. And this is an individual, Richard Holtorf. Do you remember during the Republican primary debate we covered with Lauren Boebert in it for Colorado's 4th congressional district? I said, obviously Lauren Boebert's a horrible option to represent that district, but she's among a few bad options, and Richard Holtorf is one of those people running against Boebert in that primary. Holtorf made headlines back in January when he defended paying for his girlfriend's abortion, despite being an adamant pro-life lawmaker and abortion critic. And with that being said, we'll take a look at this on-air moment from Richard Holtorf and Kyle Clark.
If abortion was the best choice for your girlfriend, why try to deny that choice to other women?
So let me give you some context about that situation, because I'm a pro-life Catholic, and I believe everyone should choose life. Now, if you listen to my presentation on the House floor, did you listen to it?
I did, in fact. I just quoted from it.
Okay, so what was the major theme, and what did I repeat probably 20 times?
In
Hold on, let me help you.
Oh, I thought you were asking me a question.
No, go ahead.
In fairness, your logic was a bit scattered in that speech. What I'm asking you about is the fact that you said that you respected your girlfriend's right to an abortion and then gave her money to help her through an important time to live her best life.
You did exactly what I did.
But yet you've tried to deny that to other women. And I'm asking, why is an abortion good for your girlfriend, bad for other women? That's my question. Simple question.
Okay. She had an abortion. Was that her choice? Yes. Did she have that right? Yes. Was it my choice, Kyle? No.
Why do you seek to deny the choice that you said was best for your girlfriend's life?
Let me finish explaining.
Why do you seek to deny it to other women?
Let me. I don't.
You have voted to restrict abortion access as a legislator.
And I have. And I'm a pro-life person. I think you should try to choose life every time. But there are exceptions. And there are times when you need abortion. Abortion is a medical procedure.
Is one of the exceptions when Richard Holtorf's the father?
No, it is not. It's not about me. Don't personalize it and make it about me. It's not.
You told the story on the House floor.
That doesn't matter.
Sir. Okay.
That doesn't matter. Okay. That's a story.
Okay.
That's not that important. What's more important is the policy.
So awkward, to say the least, and Kyle Clark captioned that video when posting it. New Colorado 4 GOP candidate Richard Holtorf has voted against abortion rights in the state legislature, but said he respected his girlfriend's right to have an abortion, quote, so she could live her best life. I asked him about that disconnect. So, I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments if his answer made sense. I wasn't exactly following. It helped her live her best life, but he was opposed to it, but supportive of it enough to give her money to facilitate it. And this type of hypocrisy is something we're far too used to. Whether it be on LGBTQ rights or reproductive rights. You have situations where it's so easy when it is not impacting your life to go with these extreme incorrect stances and to demonize people, alienate people, harm people. But then it hits you close to home and all of a sudden your view changes. And my request to some of these people, now, okay, let me finish that thought and then Richard Holtorf actually falls into the worst category. But my message to people who do change their view, for example, who come out for LGBTQ rights because they have a son who comes out as gay. I just wish people who haven't yet had a personal experience would try the very best to empathize with others, to learn what it might feel like, and then learn the importance of having the correct stance on this. But Richard Holtorf, I guess, is still anti-abortion, so his stance is even more strange and incoherent. And it's just hypocritical because, if it impacts me, yeah, then then I want the right to be available, or I'm supportive of her living her best life. But if it doesn't impact me, then I'm going to continue to have the policy stance that I have. Very strange. Now, this reminded me of a clip we looked at some time ago, but it's so good I want to play again, from Kyle Clark. Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold. There was this Republican impeachment effort that ultimately failed, but it was so absurd, and it related to the attempt to remove Trump from the ballot because of the 14th Amendment, Section 3, and it barring insurrectionists or those who have provided aid or comfort to insurrectionists from running for office. And she publicly said that she agreed with the argument that Trump was barred under the 14th Amendment, but said as Secretary of State she would abide by whatever the courts decided on that, which she did. And Trump was on the ballot because the Supreme Court overturned the Colorado Supreme Court's decision on that. And then Republicans tried to make an argument that because she said she agreed with the argument but was going to abide by the court rulings, she somehow was interfering and violating her oath of office. Very, very crazy stuff. And it didn't go well when State Rep Ryan Armagos was confronted by Kyle Clark. If you appreciate and enjoy the content that we make each day, I would greatly appreciate you for clicking that subscribe button.
What has the Secretary done that qualifies as high crimes or misdemeanors or malfeasance?
I think the biggest reason behind this is that she's used her personal feelings and accusations to have a candidate removed from the primary ballot.
Did she have him removed from the primary ballot?
No, but she was behind the effort that went through Colorado Supreme Court and then up to the U.S. Supreme Court where it was ruled down.
So, in actuality, there were Republicans and unaffiliated voters who were anti-Trump, who sued to get Trump off the ballot. She was the one who was being sued, and then she complied with the court order. What did she do in there that warrants impeachment for high crimes, misdemeanors, or malfeasance?
Using her public and professional position to push that forward and promote it on a daily basis.
So therefore, what you're alleging is malfeasance for her stating her feelings about a court case.
Yes, essentially dereliction of her duty.
Okay. Is feelings a grounds for impeachment?
No, absolutely not.
Are you and other Republicans perhaps playing a dangerous game if you lower the bar for impeachment to just vibes?
No, not at all. This is a building where we're elected on partisan levels to argue and debate topics based on partisan politics. And the position of Secretary of State, where you are conducting and leading and protecting free and fair elections, bringing personal feelings and political agenda into that, does not present any kind of free and fair elections to the people of Colorado.
Let me pose the devil's advocate question. That person might say there's absolutely no grounds for impeachment, that you all just need something to show for the fact that you guys are up here taking it day after
This is epic. This is so epic what's about to happen. Oh,
day because you have a super minority. You can't really do anything.
This is something that we can say we're doing this, even though it might not be successful in the House. Our constituents can see we did it, but we can't do anything based on being the super minority. And that can also hopefully help us in the next election cycle.
Well, you didn't just say you're impeaching her because it'll help you in the next election cycle.
No, I think this will get more people to come to vote so that we can get more people voting for what they think is right, knowing that they have people standing up in office for them. They need to get more people in office standing up for them.
Did you just say the quiet part out loud?
What's that?
Did you just say the quiet part out loud?
The quiet part out loud.
We'll move on.
oh.
What?
So there, okay. I don't understand. I get that not everyone came from the background that I did and that I'm currently involved in, which is a lot of sort of arguments and debates. And so you can sort of see the signs when someone's leading you into a trap like that. But I feel like most people in politics have had enough of these conversations where you would see the red flag. And Kyle Clark just pretty nonchalantly, but also overtly was teeing this guy up to say that this is just an effort to make it look like Republicans are accomplishing something when they're really just doing a political stunt, and to have something to show for when they go back home and campaign for re-election, because they're not accomplishing things on policy. So instead it can be, well, we went after the Democratic Secretary of State. And he poses it in a way that makes it so obvious that Armagos should probably not admit that that's exactly what they're doing, and he does. And then it ends with him going, quiet part out loud, what do you what do you mean? And it's brutal there. And also at other points in time, Kyle Clark nicely would walk him into, so you're saying that this is just her expressing her feelings, right? And then Armagosa goes, yeah, that's why we're doing this. So you think feelings, people expressing their feelings, could be justification for impeachment in the future? Oh no, not at all. But you just said that's why you're impeaching her. So that would be the precedent that you're setting. So much credit to Kyle Clark for the work he's doing in Colorado. It's important that, as I've said before, these MAGA Republicans also at the state level are being confronted, and the impact of their lack of serious governance and of their nonsense is so real. So we focus a lot on the national figures for good reason, but people like Kyle Clark do such a good job of confronting some of these state officials as well and exposing for Colorado citizens the absurdity of some of the things they're doing and arguments that they are making. Let me know what you thought of all that in the comments, and you can get access to the extra episode of the show daily by clicking that join button below.